So the first thing to look at, if your thyroid is kind of sluggish, is to look at the environment. That's the very first thing. There are toxins in the environment, and we're always interacting with the environment. Eating the food that's coming from the soil, and the soil could have some pesticides in there. Okay, we're always interacting with the air that we're breathing in, water. So some of the environmental toxins that is detrimental to the health of our thyroid are these halogens. So the bromine, chlorine, fluorine, these are part of the halogen family. And in fact, the iodine is also part of the halogen family, but it's the one that the thyroid needs, because without iodine, then you simply will not be able to make thyroid hormones. So the bromine, you can easily find that in pesticides. You can also get derivative forms of bromine in soft drinks. I'm sorry, who says soft drinks now? Sodas. Water bottles or plastic bottles, there's bromine in that, and it leaks into the liquid inside. Also some fire retardants, as well as baked goods in the form of potassium bromate. So be on the lookout for those toxins. I would just say, try to minimize your risks. And then chlorine and fluorine, you can easily find this in our tap water today, fluorine in our toothpaste. So there are some alternatives, especially with the fluorine. There are some toothpaste out there in the market that don't contain fluoride. So I will show you one that I use myself, and one that my family uses also. I would suggest maybe adding some filter to your faucet, or a filter for your shower, so that the water doesn't get into the pores. The contaminants or the toxins don't get into the pores. With the filter, it actually filters those contaminants, or chlorine and fluorine. I haven't done this, but I would really like to, put a filter for the entire house, even for the laundry. But it is kind of an expensive investment, so maybe in the future I'll do that. And then the second thing is very important. This to me is just as important as the environment, and that is the diet, the food that we're eating. What are we actually feeding ourselves? So there are some substances, unfortunately, that are in the food today called goitrogens. It's a natural occurring substance in certain vegetables, such as kale, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, mustard greens. And goitrogens are known to suppress the thyroid. It blocks the thyroid from making its thyroid hormones. So one way to do it, actually, is to cook those vegetables so that it deactivates the goitrogen substances in them. And also maybe adding in some iodine-rich foods such as sea vegetables, fish, seafood. So I'll show you some of my sea vegetables that I actually like to eat, and give you some ideas where to get them. Okay, and soy also. I forgot to mention soy. It has some goitrogens. So soy milk, soybean oil, I would stay away from them. They're actually one of the worst enemy to thyroid, not just the thyroid, but your adrenal glands as well. So gluten, you've already heard me talk about gluten on Facebook. I've mentioned it a whole lot. It actually destroys, the lining of our gut, and it creates inflammation in the body. And when there's inflammation, the adrenal gland responds to that and basically puts out high levels of cortisol. One thing to note, when you have high levels of cortisol in the body, it suppresses the pituitary from making TSH, okay? And it also prevents the thyroid from converting, it prevents the conversion of T4 to T3 with high elevations of cortisol in the bloodstream. So those are very good information to keep in mind. So I would, as much as possible, stay away from gluten. Just avoid it. Other things to add into your diet is Himalayan sea salt. Himalayan sea salt has about 84 trace elements in it, and one of them is iodine. I know, you might have heard people say that, it's good to have iodized salt, but I don't have that in my kitchen. Yeah, you can get the iodine from the iodized salt, but you're also getting chemicals and preservatives, and iodized salt is not really real salt to me. So I don't give that to my family. I don't give it to myself. But I do use Himalayan sea salt a whole lot, especially whenever I cook. So I'll show you later on what I use in my kitchen. And then the other one to look at also is stress levels, external and internal stress. Mental emotional stress, believe it or not, it does affect the endocrine system. It affects the thyroid, and it also affects the adrenal gland. But today, the thyroid is actually responding to that. So I would suggest maybe doing some meditation or incorporating some EFTs, or what is also known as tapping your meridians. It stands for Emotional Freedom Technique. If you Google Emotional Freedom Technique, you will get a lot of information, good information on it, and you can even get with a practitioner if you think you need it. So, and then some internal stressors. These internal stressors, I'm talking about the gut infections. Infections that could be caused by overgrowth of candida or overgrowth of some bacteria in the gut. So believe it or not, those infections are causing inflammation in the body. Also, keeping in mind food reactions. If you're reacting to certain foods and you don't know about it, that is causing inflammation in the body. And when there's inflammation, the adrenal is responding to that by producing high amounts of cortisol, and there you go. It will then affect, there could be some effects to the thyroid producing its own hormones. So sometimes you might think that thyroid is the main problem, but it could be that the thyroid is secondary to the adrenal glands. Since the adrenal glands it's the gland that actually responds to stress, pretty much. Okay, and then also lifestyle. Sometimes we need to put a shine on this particular aspects of our life. The lifestyle. I would incorporate, some good cleansing protocol. The liver and the kidney are the two main organs for detoxifying or cleansing our body of toxins. They get rid of toxins for us. So it's a good idea to support those two organs. And also, I would recommend, if you've never done it before, going to a steam room or a sauna. It's a great way to detoxify the body. I love going to the sauna. The first time I went though, I was so gung-ho. I was in there for about 10 minutes, and then when I got out, I got disoriented because I wasn't used to the steam room. You see, I shocked my body by going in there for 10 minutes. Don't do that. I don't recommend going there for 10 minutes. I'd say go for 2 minutes the first time, and then the next time you go, add another minute to your session. Just kind of ease into it, okay? Also, exercise. Exercise is a great way in its proper context. Exercise is a great way to help stimulate the thyroid. So, simple walking, maybe doing some yoga or Pilates, resistance training are some great exercise regimen, And then also investing in some good real food, organic as much as possible, grass-fed, meats that are not laced of antibiotics or hormones. They support overall the health and well-being of the body. Okay, it's not just the thyroid, but if you eat, I believe in eating good food. You are what your body, you are what you eat. So good food equals good health to me. Okay. And then the last thing I want to talk about is supplementation. I ran out of room, but it's my philosophy that supplementation only works if your diet works. Okay, so you can't supplement your way out of a bad diet is what I'm trying to say. But let's just say you have a good diet and you want to support your thyroid. So there are some supplements that you can actually use. You can go to your nearest natural health food store. Iodine, you can supplement with iodine, some good iodine supplements. Also selenium. People don't know a lot about selenium, but selenium actually helps convert T4 to T3. So anyway, so with that, I now want to go ahead and show you some foods and items that I actually use to support my levels of iodine. And right here, the first thing I want to show you, here are some examples of sea vegetables, bonito flakes. So whenever I use soup, whenever I make soup, sorry, that's my timer, it's telling me that I'm running out of time again. So whenever I make soup, I use these bonito flakes, and I just put some over my soup, and it's a great way for me to bring in some iodine in my diet. I don't supplement iodine, like I said, I just try to get it from the food that I eat. And then the other thing also, I love these Sushi Nori. These are the wrappers that you will find in Japanese restaurants. The wrapper for sushi. So what I do, I eat these like snacks. I just tear them and then eat them. I keep some in my bag sometimes. So you can get these from Whole Foods or your nearest natural health food store if you have some in your area. You can get it to go in. Sardines are also a great way to get some good iodine. These are wild caught. Always stick to wild caught as much as possible. They're a better form. And again, I got these at Whole Foods. Also, a good way to support that thyroid are some good coconut oil. I'm very generous with my coconut oil. I probably get about maybe up to maybe more than 4 tablespoons a day, because I sometimes cook with these. This is one of the many oils that I use in my home. But I love using this in my coffee, smoothie, you name it. I just really love coconut oil. I even use it for my body as a lotion. And of course, this is the toothpaste that I was telling you about, Desert Essence. It's gluten-free and it's fluoride-free and SLS-free. So Whole Foods carry these, and also some, any health food store that's in your area should carry this. It's a pretty common toothpaste. So with that, guys, I have to go because my timer is actually telling me, and I think my camera I tried to actually shut down on me. So if you have any comments, please leave them below. Questions, I'd love to hear from you. Thoughts, and don't forget to follow me at facebook.com/Jenny of Health Luminary. Share the love, and hope to see you soon. See you guys.